When we consider the cosmic chakra, or really cosmic consciousness, I need to tell you what I'm feeling in regards to generational responsibility and being born to these times.
Hello, and welcome to the Constance Messmer podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in.
I want to remind you that I'm not an astrologer, but I do pick up on vibrational shifting, and I am in agreement with those who believe we're entering into a new consciousness, a new age, the Aquarian age, if you will, which has to do with love and enlightenment and humanitarianism. I do believe that. And I think that the cosmic consciousness, the cosmic chakra that I've told you about, has a direct link to that experience. I've mentioned already that I believe in my work that the chakras beyond the crown chakra, the upper chakras, are really states of consciousness more than they are chakras. But I do notice that when I tune in to pick up any sensations around this area of someone's being, I am able to get a pulse on their view of the world, especially as it relates to their sense of knowing that they are an integral part of the universe and their connectedness to all that is, to humanity and the environment and each other, and knowing that they're, an integral part of all of this. And I believe that the further we get into this new age and this new consciousness and a real reconciling with, validating, appreciating all that we're gifted with our psychic senses, with our intuitive nature, with our empathic nature, we can more firmly be grounded in the truth that these times have to offer. I believe that on a cosmic level, we were born to these times specifically to harness this state of being. If you're listening to me now, I know you're psychic. You just are. You know this. And I've just only been asking you to tap into it more. Tap into that higher level of awareness, because that is what this new consciousness, this higher consciousness, this cosmic consciousness is all about. It's a higher level of understanding to truth and reality, and also higher dimensions. And so in those spaces, we move into a natural proclivity to understand justice and injustice. And we understand the importance of speaking and acting and living in truth. Not our own ego-based ideas, but soul's truth, which are at a higher frequency of vibration. And it's the ability actually to then therefore go into and what's for the highest good for all. I believe kids that are being born these days are far more open than kids that were born ages ago. And so you're going to have a lot of sensitive souls or kids on the spectrum. I think that a lot of really highly empathic and connected and telepathic children are coming onto the planet now. And I think that's also why I'm trying to teach as much as I can, because we've got to get on with the language. In my opinion, not only are these higher frequencies beings being born, we are also raising and shifting our vibration by awareness, by paying attention, by doing these lessons that you're doing with me or elsewhere to help bring your consciousness to these greater levels. And I believe it is only a matter of time. And I'm sure that you are already witnessing it yourself, that telepathic communication is going to become heightened. It's those moments when you think something and the other person says it, or you think you need something and then the something shows up. It's manifesting quicker. All of this stuff of connectedness. The right person shows up at the right time. Thoughts are things. Watch out what you wish for. Watch out the negativity that you carry. You'll draw that to you just as fast as, a moth to the flame. So it's this awareness of the vibrational frequencies at this time are shifting so that our consciousness can expand and we can get on track with what is real. And part of that, in my opinion, is this coming together to recognize that we are one, that we are interconnectedness. What I do affects you and you and you and you. What you do affects you and me and them and us. And it reverberates across the planet. We feel when other areas are out of alignment on the planet, right? We feel when other areas are in alignment on the planet. There's a lot of powerful things happening right now. And I still believe, and I know because of what I'm getting and what I've experienced in my life, is that we co-create. We co-create in every moment, and we co-create our future. And it's a really pivotal time right now to recognize what are we creating, not only in our life, but in our world. Hey, as you follow my teachings, I've created this journal to be your companion. Your 11 Soul Senses is a journal for self-discovery. It's an invitation to deepen your connection to yourself and the world around you and others. This is a good thing. Your soul senses are experienced through your higher conscious awareness. Through them, you perceive the spiritual aspects of your environment, the energy patterns, vibrations, soul level experiences, and underlying feelings. I'm laughing because I'm reading a script and it's going a little slow for me. Fully tuning into your world in this way, you increase your awareness and you begin to live your unlimited potential. These are my words, but I had to write them down to remember them. This journal is for you to document your quest for self-discovery. This is a good idea. Definitions are in there to help you understand how you are perceiving through your soul senses. Don't forget, I'm all about contemporary language. Prompts and quotes that we've added guide and encourage you. The empty pages are there for extraordinary exploration as you connect with your own higher states of awareness. I think I moved my eyeballs away from looking at the camera. But listen, to get yours, I want you, I invite you, I'm encouraging you to head to constancemessmer.com and check out my shop. Listen, I did it for you. All this I do for you. You know that. I believe in you. You got this. Thanks for tuning in. Years ago, I remember running into a friend and we were having a discussion about all the fabulous people that we live near and within our community. And some of them we highlighted because they have done these amazing things. And so this friend and I, he and I had this discussion, like, what's going to be our mark? What's going to be the cool thing that we do? What's our legacy that we're going to leave behind in these times? He went on to do something really cool. He went on to create a movement about monstery big houses that should have certain building codes applied to them so that they aren't these monstrous houses that use a lot of energy in the winter months and everything. And, because we're on a finite island, finite spaces of land. And so I was grateful that he took what was in his heart and has made a difference. And I'm trying to make my difference, right? Initially, it was all about, let me create this movement called Love, Envy, Don't Litter. Because there was just all this litter around. And I was like, what is going on, man? So I created that movement to a degree, but it's not as big because my heart came back to the soul work. My heart came back to the spirit work. And I thought that's what I need to do. I need to connect people with their consciousness, their higher consciousness, and their divine gifts and talents and let them live through that. And then they naturally won't litter. So this is like, I'm going to do one thing and get everything, strike all the bits. Yay. Hit all the places that I'm supposed to help make a difference. But the conversation was cool because I invite you to do the same. I believe you were born now with a purpose. I think some really know that. Like they know, like, oh my God, I need to be doing more. I'm supposed to be doing more. I agree with you. Do more. And so what is your passion? Find out what stirs you. Sometimes it's what we don't like that we want to then make it so that it's a good thing on the planet. And other times we want more of a positive thing on the planet or whatever. The point is I believe you were born for a reason and a purpose now. And yes, we are shifting consciousness. And yes, there are things that are going to start happening as you embrace what is your truth for better conscious living, higher conscious living, rightful living, and things that you might want to do to help make the world a better place, there's going to be a rush of the cosmos to support that, as always, when we're working towards manifesting something beautiful. And so I just want to remind you of that. I think we can all agree that the environment is in turmoil and a lot of people are in turmoil and there's a lot of hardship and sadness. And sometimes if we can take a breath and not get caught up in that, it's what kind of change can I bring to usher in this age of Aquarius, this peace and harmony, this humanitarian nature that I know we're evolving to be. So sometimes we have to look inside and maybe have the same conversation I had with my friend. Is there something that you want to do, that you want to leave as a legacy in your mark on the planet? This way, instead of getting so bogged down by what you see that's wrong in the world, you could actually be inspired to help create change, to help make a difference, to help do something. It's affecting your heart and your mind and your consciousness because it's supposed to. You're supposed to have a visceral reaction. You're supposed to not numb out or, pretend it away. You're supposed to feel into it so that you can tune into what difference can I make? Because yes, I believe you can make a difference. I believe it struck you because you can do something about it. Big or small, you will know in your heart what it is you could do. You will know, even if it is, and especially if it is just holding a vibrational frequency of prayer and offering that out. May all hearts be at peace. May all hearts know love. May all beings recognize that we are one. This kind of thing while you're recycling, while you're using less, while you're shutting off the lights so that you're not wasting energy, while you're signing your petitions, stuff like that. To me, I think it's fascinating. I think it's fascinating with what I believe, with the greater telepathy and the greater connectedness and the more evolved empathic we are becoming, super sensitive and recognizing different things, food intolerances, attitude intolerances, people intolerances, and looking at all those and really where does my heart need to come into this? Where does compassion need to come into this? How do I need to work this? All of these things are important. And I think that part of us that is incredibly empathic and completely telepathic is what's going to usher us purely into cosmic consciousness. Because I tell you this, the minute you get that it's your kids reading your mind and that's what they're acting out about because they're feeling and sensing your nudgy or disapproval or whatever, you're going to start shifting how you are. And the moment you recognize that in the office, someone doesn't have to look at you funny and you're reading their mind and their thoughts and vice versa, you're going to recognize the ability to go forward and actually speak to them, talk to them with compassion and understanding. I think that the whole telepathic communication is the next wave of human consciousness. I really, really firmly believe this. And that's why I'm trying to teach you a lot of it now so that you can step forward into your light and the light of the world, right? In help and hope to bring that through and in so that it's a better place, a more enlightened place that does move with love more than anything. So what a holy people, really fun people and joyous people all have in common. Their delight spreads. You can just be in the same room with them and the energy in the room shifts. You can be around them and your energy is lifted. I'm telling you that what I want us all to consider is that stepping into this cosmic consciousness might be our generational responsibility. Stepping into this consciousness that brings us as integral parts of the universe, that sees unity in all things, that has a greater sense of values and this ability to see the larger pattern and this holistic vision and this greater sense of social consciousness that is inclusive, that is of peace and of love. I believe we have and are called to this ability to step into our own cosmic consciousness. And I believe that's part of our generational responsibility. And I think part of the cosmic consciousness, once we recognize it, I'm getting chills and goosebumps. Once we recognize it, is that we then work to living at that frequency, to work at living in that space of love and enlightenment and connectedness. I think that's our generational responsibility. And in that, our environment, our world, our relationships to self and other, to nation and neighbor, to partner in private life and business life, to neighbor across the street, across the hall, across the ocean, all of that gets shifted to this higher level of connectedness. And so I feel that is the greatest gift we could give, is a shift in our own awareness and working on our own cosmic consciousness and making it a spiritual practice to live from that thread of love daily as best we can. I think that's our generational responsibility. If you want to hear more about my friend and his efforts to educate on creating and considering building caps, especially for homes that are seasonal residents, and how these giant McMansions might affect the environment when no one's living in them and the house is still functioning, you can check out his film, One Big Home. I will put links in the show notes. Thanks. Hey, Constance Messmer here. I just want to do a shout out of big thanks to all the members. I am so grateful. And all the people dropping in and giving little donations here and there and super thanks and all that stuff. I really appreciate you. You members and you people contributing and subscribers are what helped me bring this content to everyone, really. They both contribute to the cost of production, and I am definitely grateful for that. This stuff is not cheap to put out. Oh my God. Oh my God. So every little bit helps, and I am filled with gratitude that you're stepping up. I am not necessarily a joiner, not usually, but there are environmental issues and other organizations that I do belong to and I contribute to because I like to see them persevere. And I'm hoping you feel the same about this work. I hope you put it into practice in your life. That's another way that you could spread this work and help change our world, which is what I think it ultimately does. As you know, I think if everyone tuned into their soul senses, the world would be a much better place. So when you subscribe, it's a big yes vote for the content, and it helps spread the work across the planet. So when you put the lessons into practice and subscribe and like and share, you help me help you carry the lesson beyond you and me. And I am just really grateful. Legally speaking, this podcast is presented solely for educational, spiritual, and entertainment purposes. It is not intended as a substitute for medical diagnosis, treatment, or the advice of a physician, psychotherapist, or other qualified professional. You should not use this information to diagnose or treat a health problem or condition. Always check with your doctor. Thank you.